All these are great, great musicians, and some of the best we have in the country. And it's a way to bring the bluegrass and old time together, and it creates a new sound. We're beginning something here with this project.
Scott's kind of my musical soulmate. I play better with Scott than I realize that I even can. He brings that out of me.
I've been knowing and picking with Scott for about 30 years. I've known Edwin for probably 20 or so, and both of these guys are just not only my really good friends, but my musical heroes, and I consider them to be two of the finest musicians on the planet.
I know one thing interesting about Edwin's banjo playing is that the clawhammer has a very structured rhythm to it, and he never let that keep him in a box. And most people who are playing clawhammer banjo, I think, are pretty traditionalist about it. They're trying to play like the old timers did. And I don't think that was ever a goal of Edwin's. He just liked the sound of it, and the way he takes that sound and fits it into something that isn't necessarily a structured or a traditional rhythm, I think is what really perked up Scott's ears and let him realize that this guy could pretty much hang with anything. And hanging with Scott Freeman takes some doing, I'll tell you. That man is a musical genius. Sometimes Willard and I just hang on and fly like we're holding the kite string and let those two just sort of dance together and see what we can come up with.
It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy, planted on their columns now that binds me, or something that somebody said because I thought we fit together walking.
I've been playing with Edwin, I guess, probably close to 18 years, probably, I guess. And the first time I heard him, I thought, you know, what an innovative banjo player he was, especially for a clawhammer style. He had a lot of original songs, and I always thought he was just a really great musician. I'm from Mount Airy, North Carolina, where it is home of the Siamese twins. So, and somebody said that Edwin and myself were joined at the frets. They made a comment, so I thought that was kind of a good name for our little duo.
And to her mother, she turned and I was gone. Well, I still might run inside and tears of joy might stain my face. The summer sun might burn me till I'm blind.
Scott's one of those musicians that
just make anybody he plays with sound really good. And so I was very excited to be able to play with him from early on. We formed a group called Skeeter and the Skidmarks with his father-in-law, Willard Gayheart, and Sandy Mason, and played through the years with that group. And Scott and I had always had to kind of a back burner dream of doing a duo project at some point, and so that has finally come to fruition, and we're excited about that.
Got some of the best musicians, Steve Lewis and Butch Robins, Brandon Davis, wonderful musicians, some of the best, not just from around this area, but anywhere in the country. They're just fun, they're wonderful musicians.
It's a great privilege to be playing with Butch Robins, who was one of Bill Monroe's bluegrass boys.
You know, he's not all about technique, and he's not all about sound. And it's a composite of all that stuff put together, you know, that makes him the musician he is.
Ever gentle on my mind.
It's a combination of a lot of different styles. I don't know if you could categorize it as bluegrass or old time. It's just a combination of a lot of different things, and a lot of original songs.
Scott's daughter Dori is singing one of my favorite songs on it. It's a Gordon Lightfoot song called The Way I Feel, and Dori's just got a beautiful voice. She's just an amazing musician, and it's going to be a lot of fun featuring her.
The way I feel is like a robin whose babes have flown to come no more, like a tall oak tree alone and crying when the birds have flown and the nest is bare. Now warm and Lord is like a young bird, and the tall oak tree is a young man's heart. Among its boughs you find her nesting. When the nights are cool, she's warm and dry.
To me, music is music. You know, it's traditional music, and there's just one kind. It all fits in the same category as far as I'm concerned. There's only two kinds. It's either good or bad.
I think it's funny that Edwin and Scott call each other Siamese cousins, because they were sort of a feuding cousins thing about old time and bluegrass for a while. One of the things I think is really neat about the two of them and about this music is that these cousins aren't feuding anymore. In fact, they're creating something new.
People struggle with a lot of things in life, and music can bring joy and happiness and cheer into people's lives, and that makes it worth it. And it's a lot of joy to share music between musicians, and that's one of the things that this project's allowing us to do.
When the birds have flown and the nest is bare, when the birds have flown and the nest is bare.